Hello everyone, I'm Eliza Gregorio and welcome in this video report. We will be diving into the fascinating world of human development, especially focusing on the basic concept and issues on human development. And we will discuss the meaning, concept, and historical views in child development. And after watching this video, you are expected to define human development and other terms related in the study of child and adolescents, recognize the role played by the early practices in understanding children, and determine the different approach in understanding human development. Experience to get a glimpse of your personal journey as a child and an adolescent, and understanding yourself better as an individual in every child who is born, under no matter what circumstances and of no matter what parents. The potentiality of the human race is born again. James Agee, American writer, 20th century. What exactly is child development? So it is about understanding the rhythm and meaning of children's lives. It is about transforming mystery into understanding. It is about weaving together a portrait of who each of us was, is, and will be. The modern study of children is relatively new, a little more than a century, Keynes 1998, but it has evolved into a sophisticated science. In fact, a number of psychological theories, along with techniques and methods of the study, help organize our thinking about children's development, according to Lerner 2002. New knowledge about children based on direct observation and testing is accumulating in a breathtaking pace. Why study about children and adolescents? Well, many of you watching may be future educators or parents. The more you understand children's developmental stages, the better you can guide them in the future. From birth through infancy and into adulthood, we constantly develop and learn from genetic and learned factors. As children grow into adolescence and then into adult, individual and innate characteristic, which is hereditary, and life experiences and environment. It plays an important role as children adapt to internal and external conditions. During the first 5 to 10 years of a child's life, there is almost unimaginable physical, social, cognitive, and emotional and moral change and growth which takes place. Growth and development obviously continue during the child's early life until maturity at adulthood. In these early years, children work out their place in the world. They are part of a family, community, a social system. They are also an individual being and their foundations of a personality are well and truly formed. Children grow through different stages of development. Some child development experts have called the various stages of development different names over decades of research. Some well-known child development theories evolved from the work of Sigmund Freud, Jean Piaget, Erik Erikson, Lev Vygotsky, Ron Frenbrenner, V.F. Skinner, Ivan Pavlov, and many other psychologists. By understanding children, we can learn more about why they develop the way they do, and also the most effective ways to help them to develop as responsible citizens with positive contribution to make. Adults who work with children help best when they understand how children grow and learn. This knowledge allows better teaching and support for children with struggles. As J. Rinker 2018 notes, understanding development helps teachers provide lessons students are ready for. And children grow through many changes in different stages. Teachers who knows this understand why students behave as they do. And some behavior may show problems like abuse or developmental delays, and knowing how parenting and role models affect children's help teachers be kind and effective. Studying development also shows how family and the environment shapes children's behavior. And children from healthy homes tend to follow rules and adjust better, while those from difficult backgrounds may have more challenges, and early help is very important. And adolescents face sudden growth and emotional changes. Adults should recognize this as a natural and support teens with empathy. Example, consider the stories of Jeffrey Dahmer, whose troubled childhood led to violent crimes, and Alice Walker, who overcame injury and poverty to become a celebrated writer. And this example shows how life's experiences shapes people differently. Throughout history, philosophers have viewed children in three main ways: original sin, tabula rasa, and innate goodness. So number one is the original sin view. This was advocated during the Middle Ages. Children were seen as basically bad or evil. The goal was to provide salvation through a child's rearing to remove sin. Number two is tabula rasa view. 17th century proposed by John Locke, who said children are like blank tablets. Childhood experiences shapes adults' race. Parents should spend time helping children become good members of society. And lastly, we have hate goodness views. 18th century, presented by Jean-Jacques Rousseau, who said children are naturally good. Caregivers should allow children to grow naturally with little control.
So next, we talk about current concerns about today's children. The welfare of children is a topic we see and hear about every day. Researchers are studying child development to better understand and improve the lives of children. Some of the major concerns are health and well-being. Even with advancement in health, children are still vulnerable to poverty, starvation, loss of livelihood, poor quality healthcare, and inadequate nutrition. Alcohol and drug abuse, violence against women and children, and mental health issues are also significant problems. So let's move forward to education. So we know that education is a crucial part of a child's life. We might look back at our own learning experience and say that today is much easier due to the advancement of technology. Yet to some individuals, they say that technology and the shift to online classes has presented new challenges. The new normal and sudden transition to new learning method had been stressful for children and teachers alike. So, let's move forward to sociocultural context. So what's sociocultural context? These concepts are central to understanding child and adolescents. So first is culture. This refers to the behavior patterns, belief, and products of a group of people passed down through generations. For example, the Filipino traditions of Mano Po. The Mano Po shows respect to elders by bringing their hand to their forehead. This simple act is a perfect example of culture. So the next one is ethnicity. This is rooted in cultural heritage, nationality, race, and religion. Ethnic identity is a sense of belonging to an ethnic group based on shared language, religions, customs, and values. So for example, you are being proud of your family's Bicolano, Cebuano, or Tahusug heritage is a part of your ethnic identity. So next is gender and sex. Sex is about biology, male or female. Gender is about the psychological and social roots we have in society. For example, a person's sex is determined by their body, while their gender can be seen in how they express themselves or the roles they take on. So next is gender and development, which is GAT. The perspective emerged in the 1980s, an alternative to the Women in Development approach. The Philippine Commission on Women defines GAD as process that is participatory, empowering, equitable, sustainable, and free from violence. Its purpose is to ensure that both men and women can participate in and benefit from develop in a way that is equitable. So for example, a GAD problem wouldn't just give women a sewing machine. It will also provide training, help them find a market for their products, and include them in the discussion about household chores to support their work. Social policy refers to the national government course of action to promote the welfare of its citizens. The scope of these policies is tied to our political system. So here are some specific examples. The Philippines K-12 Basic Education Program. This 12 years program was implemented by the Department of Education to improve fundamental skills and prepares graduates from lifelong learning and employment. It transitioned the Philippines from 10-year pre-university system to a globally competitive one. Before K-12, a student who graduated high school wasn't always recognized abroad. Now with the 2 extra years, their diploma is more widely accepted, making it easier to work or study internationally. Republic Act 9262, this is an act defining violence against women and their children. It protects them from physical, sexual, psychological, and economic abuse, recognizing the state duty to protect their human rights. Like for example, if a wife is being financially controlled by her husband, Republic Act 9262 give her legal protection and a way to seek help. So we have other social policies, like for example, Republic Act 10931, the universal access to quality tertiary education at this law provide free tuition in state university and colleges like us. Like for example, this means students who pass the entrance exams at a state university like University of the Philippines is no longer have to pay tuition fees. Republic Act 11310, the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program for Peace Act, a conditional cash transfer program. This program gives a family cash if they make sure their children attend school and get regular health and check-up. Last but not the least, Republic Act 10963, also known as the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Impulsion Train Act, is a law enacted in the Philippines. Is not a physical place but a piece of legislation that amends the country tax code. It was signed into law on December 19, 2017 by President Rodrigo Duterte. So once again, I am Nika Bangate and this is my report.
Good day everyone, I am Justin Joy Estrella. I am discussing about developmental processes and periods. Developmental processes and periods. Develop means the changes that happen in a person's life from the time they are conceived until death. According to Santrok, development is lifelong, plastic, multidimensional, orderly, gradual, contextual, and involves growth, maintenance, and regulation. So number 1 is development is lifelong. It does not stop when we become adults. We keep on growing and changing until the end of life. Number 2, development is plastic. Plasticity means people can change even if someone is old. They can still learn new skills or improve themselves. Number 3, development is multidimensional. This means development has 3 parts: biological, cognitive, and socio-emotional. Number 4, development is orderly. For example, when babies grow, the head develops before the lower body. Number 5, development is gradual. It takes months or years to develop skills, not just one day. Number 6 is development is contextual. The environment, culture, and time we live in affect our development. Develop involves growth, maintenance, and regulation. We grow, we maintain what we have, and we adjust to changes in life. These are the 3 main processes: biological process, cognitive process, and socio-emotional process. Number 1, biological process. These are changes in the body. For example, growth in height and weight, develop of the brain, puberty, and motor skills like walking or writing. Number 2, cognitive process. These are changes in our thinking, intelligence, and language. For example, when a child learns to speak, memorize a poem, or solve a math problem. Last, socio-emotional process. These are changes in our emotions, personality, and how we relate to people. For example, making friends, learning to control anger, or building confidence. So, in short, development is a combination of changes in our body, mind, and emotions.
Good day, everyone. I'm the reporter for, and today I will be presenting about the different developmental periods of human life. Development is commonly described in terms of stages or periods, and each stage has its own unique characteristics. Let's go through them one by one. The first stage is the prenatal period. This happens from the conception to birth about 9 months. During this time, rapid growth and development occur inside the mother's womb. It is the very beginning of human life. Next is infancy, which lasts from birth through around 24 months. It is the stage babies are very dependent on adults. This is also when important abilities begin to develop, such as language, symbolic thought, sensory motor, coordination, and social learning. After infancy, we enter childhood, which is divided into early, middle, and late childhood. Early childhood is between 5 to 6 years old. During this time, children learn to become more self-sufficient and begin to care for themselves. They also develop school readiness skills. Middle and late childhood is from about 6 to 12 years old, also known as the elementary years. At this stage, children master basic skills like reading, writing, and arithmetic. They are also exposed to the large world and culture, and achievement becomes the central theme of their lives. Next stage is adolescence, which is the period of transition from childhood to adulthood. Usually from 13 to around 24 years old, this stage is marked by rapid physical changes such as dramatic growth in height and weight, enlarge of breast in females, and in males, the growth of the penis, development of secondary hair, and the peeling of boys. The main theme in this stage is the identify crisis, as young people try to figure out who they are and where they belong in society. Finally, we have adulthood, which begins at around 24 years old and continues until that. This stage is also divided into early, middle, and late adulthood. It is the longest stage of life where people take on more responsibilities, build careers, raise families, and eventually reflect on their lives as they grow older. And thus the sequence of developmental periods. From the prenatal stage, infancy, childhood, and adolescence up to adulthood. Each stage is important and plays a big role in shaping who we are as human beings. Once again, I'm the reporter for. Thank you for watching and listen. And that's all. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Aldrisha Aurelio, explaining the three major developmental issues. So the most important issue in the study of children's development includes the role of nature versus nurture, continuity versus discontinuity, and early versus development. So first we have the nature versus nurture. It's commonly known as the controversial role between heredity versus environment. It involves the debate whether development is influenced by nature or by nurture. That's supported by Ruder 2002. Nature refers to an individual's biological inheritance, and nurture refers to its environmental experiences. The range of environment can be vast, but the nature approach argues that a genetic blueprint produces more commonalities in growth and development. We walk before we talk. we speak one word before two words. Nature proponents development. So that explains this is about whether a child growth is influenced more by heredity or by environment. That supports Reader 2002. Nature refers to what we inherit from our parents, like our genes and physical traits. Nature refers to our experience and the environment we grew up in, so like a family, education, and a culture. So most experts believe both nature and nurture work together in shaping development. Second, we have the continuity versus discontinuity issue. So it focuses on the extent to which development involves gradual cumulative change and distinct stages. Puberty is seen as an abstract discontinuous event and a gradual process occurring over the years. In terms of stages in which change is qualitative rather than quantitative different. So this looks at how developmental happens. Continuity means development is a slow and gradual process now, like learning step by step. On the other hand, discontinuity sees development as happening in stages. For example, puberty is a sudden stage that feels very different from childhood. So third, we have early and later experiences. It focuses on the degree in which early experiences or infancy to with or later experiences are the key determinants of the child development. So this issue has a long history and continues to be debated among developmentalists. That supports by Gottlieb 2002. The emphasis on the importance of early experiences rests on the belief that each life is an unbroken trail on which the psychological quality can be traced to its origin. Kagan 2002 supports that the later experience. So this is about which experiences matter more in development. Some say early experiences, like how babies are cared for, leave lasting effects. So other believes later experiences, like proper guidance during school years, are just as important. So in reality, both early and later experiences can greatly influence a child.
In conclusion, understanding the developments of childhood and adolescence is essential for guiding them effectively through their unique and complex growth stages. And this knowledge helps the educators, parents, and caregivers to recognize the biological, cognitive, emotional, and social changes that shapes each individual. By appreciating the interactions of hereditary and environmental factors, and by applying modern developmental theories, we can better support children in overcoming challenges and reaching their full potential. Ultimately, the study of human developments equips us to nurture responsible, well-adjusted individuals who contribute positively to the society. And this ongoing journey from birth to adulthood underscores the importance of empathy, appropriate guidance, and responsive care in shaping the future generations.